goes. All right. Hello and welcome. I'm Jennifer Britton. I am the founder and CEO of Potentials Realized, and I'm really excited to bring you to our 20th annual Vision session. This is Vision 2025. And while over the years of this business, things have changed, things have shifted, the importance of vision has not. And so we're going to be going through a series of reflective prompts today. This is going to be a work session for you. And my invite is please follow along. You can always stay on the prompt, but the intent is to help you start your thinking about 2025. If you haven't met us before, Potentials Realized is an award-winning coach training and consulting company. We do work in a variety of areas from leadership to teamwork, group coaching, and of course, supporting organizations through change. As we've moved into our 20th year and the second decade, it's really been exciting to see how work continues to create through lines. And you may have heard my name before, well known as the author of the world's first book on group coaching. And we've now trained thousands of group and team coaches over the last 20 years. In our work with teams and our work with organizations and also groups, it's really important that we spend time creating a vision. So today is all about your vision, whether you're a leader, whether you're a business owner, whether you're a coach. I think you're going to find some value coming from this process. It will actually queue us up for one of our year-end activities. So I do two year-end activities, one being this, and then about a month from now on Tuesday, Tuesday, December 10th, I want to welcome you back at 12 noon Eastern for our year-end wrap-up. It'll be my 21st annual wrap-up reflection on the year that was as it relates to group and team coaching. But for now, we are going to be pausing, taking a deep breath. I hope that you will enjoy this process. We're going to be moving through a series of about minute and a half reflections to help you create your vision. Because in times of change, our vision is everything. If we want to keep moving, having that clarity around who we are, where we want to go, and what's important to us is critical. And that's where this vision process comes from. You might also recognize some of the questions. They come from Plan, Do, Track, and Coaching Business Builder, Section 3. So if you have that book, definitely check it out. And this is part of a wider planning process and a wider planning leg of the business, which really is all about business development and planning. So we're not going to start with a new year without saying, reflecting back to this year, what have been your key accomplishments? We're not going to be speaking during this. You're just going to have an opportunity to actually reflect and think about things. I will be starting our timer. So I'm just going to stop the share for a moment as I pull up that timer again. Make sure that you see it for a minute and 22 seconds. But please start making note of what has been your accomplishment in the year of 2024. Note them big and small. All right, you're going to hear that throughout our process today. So let's move to our next question. You can always stay there. And again, we're orienting to a new year, 2025. I hope that you'll use this visual to just start thinking about what is important. What do you want to embrace wrap your hands around. Maybe it's one of these words, maybe it is actually, one of the images. So for the next little bit, think about 2025 and what you want to bring in to your year. All right, that is our next question. So, another image. I want you to imagine that it is the end of 2025. What will you have accomplished? What will you have been, right? Business success is not always about doing. It can be about our mindset. It can be about overcoming limiting beliefs. It can be about debunking assumptions and challenges. So I just want you to take this next little bit of time to think about it's the end of 2025 and I have dot, dot, dot. As always, you can stay with this. I brought a couple of images because many of you know how much I love images. These are replicated. And as you think to the new year, is there an image here that can spark some thinking, spark some ideas? What here might speak to you and what is possible in the new year? Not a lot of variety, but there might be something here that piques out your curiosity. Take a bit of another minute on that. If some other image speaks, by all means, write that out. All right, let's keep moving. You can always stay with this if you would like. Let's reconnect with our mission. We're going to do a couple of rounds of this. I want you to really lock in, maybe from a 2024 perspective or even the year ahead. Who do you serve? Get clear on who that ultimate client or partner is. Give them some shape, give them some voice, give them some size. So we're going to do multiple rounds on these questions. For now, think about your mission and your mandate and who you serve. We'll move to the next question on this list. What is your mission? As you think about those people, what is it that they want? What is that flag that they're aiming for? For example, we're on a mission here at Potentials Realized to continue to equip coaches with tools and group and team coaching, as well as serving teams and organizations and leaders to do their best work in an ever-changing environment. That's our mission. What's your mission? Related to this question is what is the mark you want to make? Whether that's local, whether it's global, physical, or virtual. What is the mark you want to make? What's your legacy? All right, our fourth question under this notion of mission is what makes you stand out? Not always comfortable, but as a business, as an entrepreneur, we want to stand out. How do you stand out? What do you bring in terms of strengths and skills? Okay, we're going to shift gears yet again. And as you think about stepping or maybe even leaping into 2025, chances are you're someplace right now and there's a big goal that you want to be achieving. What do you feel is the biggest leap you need to take in order to really make 2025 your best year yet? Intuit into this if you don't know what the answer is. All right. So, a bit of a anchoring point. We've got lots more questions. This one really invites you to think about maybe that boldness that we just looked at. What's really going to jettison you into the new year? Is it planning? Is it goal setting? Is it action? Is it clarifying your vision? For the next minute and a half, lean into these as well as look back at what's emerged already. What is going to give you that rocket fuel or the ability to ride the wave, because it's not always something that we need to do. Sometimes it's about just noticing where the wind is taking us in a strategic way. So see what comes up for you in this area. All right. So if you're just joining us, we're moving through a series of reflective prompts. Every minute and a half is a different one. You can always stay with the last prompt. A big part of what I've been talking about for a few years is how you're showing up, your presence as a coach. And so, probably you've taken the coaching superpower quiz. If you haven't, check it out. You may be a combination of being an ecosystem connector coach, focusing on systems. Maybe you're a grounded labyrinth coach, really adept at holding the space for being and pause and mindfulness. Maybe you're like me, a creative tool master, pulling on different resources. Or perhaps you are more like the catalytic firecracker coach that's really adept at doing the planning and catalyzing action. Finally, I know for some of you, you are spiral lighthouse coaches. You're really great at creating that safe harbor of trust, safety, and connection, and a place for people to come together in community. So, the question for this round for the next minute and a half is which of your coaching superpowers do you want to leverage in 2025? Maybe it's not your primary, but think about what in the whole ecosystem and the range of what we have available as a coach is important for you to leverage and grow and focus on in 2025. All right. So, another opportunity to think about what you really want to focus on as we move from 2024 to 2025. I want to give you a minute to really look at these areas, and maybe there are a few words that pop out. What do you want to focus on in this year? All right. So I'm going to stop our share for a moment. Want to give a little creative break. Any comments? Anything you noticed so far about this process? I know Carly, you've just dropped in to see us, but anything that people want to note verbally? Because coaching typically is a verbal modality. What we're doing here are reflective prompts, dive deep into ourselves. Just want to give you an opportunity to speak anything you want to note. May or may not be anything. Carla, I know
I,
you just
I
started
will just say,
talking.
coming late. Thank you for welcoming me. Because I always learn something when I come to your things, Jennifer. And even, I plan to host workshops about moving from 24 to 25 with my audiences. And so just seeing how you played the music between the prompts is like, it was refreshing. So I know it's what you do and it's natural to you, but I just want to highlight it's the little things that I always take away when I spend time with you, in addition to the substantive materials.
Love that. And really, it's the whole Monty, right? Like that's what I love to say about our business. It's really about having a one-stop shop for all things group and team coaching. Maybe it is, oh, hey, I didn't know there was a timer on Zoom that I can activate. Maybe it was like, oh, this idea of having more visuals, or maybe it's time to update visuals. There's always something where we can create more wow and more insights for the people that we work with. Because as coaches, that's so important in today's world. It's not necessarily about activating, throwing gasoline on everything. It's often about deepening or widening. And I think some of what we're doing today, even on an individual level, helps us to widen the flow, right? With these very diverse sort of questions that we have. All right. Any other comments before we get back into Whitney? What are you noticing? I'm going to let someone else into our room and they'll join us here. So, Whitney, what's the experience like for you so far?
Um, like Carla, I do this kind of work with some of my clients moving into next year, and I tend to be very focused on what's the best way to help other people think. And to actually be asked to respond to the questions myself feels like such a turnaround, right? And I'm like, oh, these are hard questions. Oh, they're deep. Oh, it does take multiple tries at the same thing to find your way to an answer or a possible answer. So thank you.
You're welcome. And if you're just joining us, thanks for joining us at the bottom of the hour. We're going to get going. I want to roll one of our reconnecting workspace dice. These have been in prototype for a few years, but we're now almost at the point of having them ready for sale. And I think they're just yet another tool in our toolkit. So I'm going to just pick one dice. There are actually 15 of them in 3 different boxes, but I'm just going to pick one. And what's interesting is actually one of our words for 2024 came out. This is integration. Part of this image here is about integration. So I'm going to offer that word up as just an option. And we are going to get back to this. So let us go to the next question. Might be hard, and this may not be enough time, but again, it's a start at this. So I'm going to lengthen our time to 2 minutes and 25 seconds because as you think about the year ahead, 2025, what are the different pieces of your work that you want to leave space for? This should read 2025. What are the pieces of your work for the new year? So take stock. What are you going to be working around? What are those puzzle pieces? Okay, let's keep moving. What will success look like? We sort of looked at this question a little while ago, but how will you know you've been successful at the end of the year? Okay, we're going to jump over this one. I want you to get tactical. What resources do you need to make this happen? Who do you need? What do you need? What's going to keep you moving? Questions like that in this notion of resources. We've got a couple more questions, so we're going to go for about another 10 minutes. We talk a lot about having a vision board with our clients, so I want to give you a couple of minutes to start yours. Again, you won't finish it in this setting, but what are the elements that you want to include on any vision board work? And maybe you go after today and you do it on a Pinterest board. Maybe you could do a Trello board. What do you want to pin up on that 2025 vision board? All right, a few more questions while we are together. I'm going to take us a little bit ahead. We've done a lot of thinking about different elements. What are some of those key activities or projects you want to include along the roadmap of 2025? Maybe it is just simply drawing out a roadmap, or maybe it's putting some of your projects in these buckets right now. What are your priorities, Q1 through 4? All right, let's see what else. Now, we don't do this work alone. So, what are the partnerships and what are the collaborations that you want to activate in this next year? All right, let's do one more. So, this is a new one, and here's an invitation for you to think about what are the doorways or which is the doorway you really want to step into in 2025. Pick one, and as you pick one, we're going to do a couple of rounds. This will be one of our final pieces for this process. So, in the first 30 seconds, I want you to actually lean in, pick a door, and then jot it out. So, like, draw it out. Notice what colors are there. Notice what the shape is. Notice Is there a handle? Are there other things? Draw out this door for yourself. We're going to spend another little burst here. And in this one, I want you to think about what are the adjectives that describe this door. And by default, the doorway you want to really step into in 2025. What do you think's behind the door? And just from what you see outside, what can you count on? So in the last 45 minutes, we have done a lot of prompts. You've created a lot. I want you to take this last burst, maybe flip through what emerged for yourself, and use this last minute and a half to either note some themes or also reflect on what you're committed to no matter what as you step through this doorway into 2025. So we're going to do just a micro debrief, but here's the thing, just a reminder, we're back to do a fun hour together as part of our year-end reflection on Tuesday, December 10th from 12 to 1 p.m. I hope you'll join us for that. I hope that today was valuable. You can always book a 15-minute call with myself or with our team, and we'll include the link to that. But I hope that 2025 is going to be a year that you really get the traction towards a focus that you want. And maybe there's multiple layers of that, as we saw with these different doorways here. So, my request or invite really is as we go to wrap up, what was most important about this process for you? And maybe it was something that got clear, maybe it was just the process itself. I'd love to hear from everyone who's here. What are you leaving our call with today? What are you leaving with? One thing. I know for me, it's like, even though I've done this for many, many years, every year it's a different energy and a different rhythm. So that's what I'm leaving with, the knowledge that it's different every time. And this is the start of multiple layers of vision work that I do over the next 6 weeks. I'm going to be doing the Coaching Business Booster again, December 16th, which is a paid program. That's a Monday. It's going to be this year a half-day workshop to help you really move from high-level vision like this into now, what does this mean for the business and where do we go with the business? So I feel like I'm ready for that now because I've done this work, and this will be some pre-work for people who are joining me on the 16th of December. Carla, you got here for half of it. What are you leaving with beyond noticing the how facilitation?
So I actually wrote down some things in quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four. So um, last weekend I did a book launch. I had a chapter in an anthology. So and so that's recent, a real like tangible recent success. So I was able to think about, okay, I did that. Now what am I going to do to push forward with that in the new year?
Nice. Love hearing that. Congratulations. Yeah, because we don't want to do it one off, right? Like with your big projects, how are these showing up every quarter? And that's
Yeah.
what we're going to do in December on the Coaching Business Booster, taking our major themes and like really anchoring them in. Great. Well, congrats. And we look forward to hearing about that. How about you, Whitney? What was your focus or what is your takeaway?
Um, Two things really popped up. One is that my last child will be going off to university next year, and in my mind, she's like already gone. And I was like, wait a minute, she's going to be here for 3 more quarters. Don't panic. Focus in. So that was actually great. And the other thing is, I have been really retreating and hiding since the election results in the United States. It's a very difficult, depressing, hard, enraging time. And so I know I need to put energy toward action and hope and building. And so doing this made me think, where are you going to make space for that? Right. I did a few work things, but I really I've got to find the right community to join to take action. So that came up over and over. Like, where's the right community? So
Well,
thank
it
you.
may find you. You never know,
Thank you
but
for the
I love
space.
it. Continue being a beacon. It's so important in today's world.
Thanks.
And Ivana, what were you taking away?
Yeah, thank you. First thing is just the genius of how you can do this in a different way every time. And I'm just like, you are definitely a creative tool master. It's like, well, how do you do this? So that's one thing. It's just wow, and the need for this work, for sure. On a personal note, one of the things I'm taking away is, it's one thing to be bringing products to the market. It's another thing to really look at the systems to make that effective. And, like that has to be part of what has to be considered, you know, to be able to make it get over the finish line and be effective.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I had fun. I hope you had fun.
Mm.
Thank you for being with us. And we will, if you listened asynchronously, leave us a comment. What did you like? What are you taking away? And certainly share this on because this has been an annual tradition. And as the years have progressed, fewer of us live, but I know that many of you watch this asynchronously. So hope you'll join us for our holiday party next month, December 10th, 12 noon. Drop in. It's only an hour this year and we'll be back on this Zoom line. And then maybe, just maybe, you'll join us for the Coaching Business Booster, which will be part of our Black Friday special, because of course, that's still coming up later on this month. So with that, everyone, be well. Good to see you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.